pursue your own
dreams.
Your own dreams.
All right. So, when did the idea of book writing? How did it crop into what you do? Because I know you've always been into this fighting for workers' interests and all of that. So, how did that come to play?
Writing a book is a different thing entirely. It's very tasking and time consuming. You might take like years to write a particular book. This took me like 2-3 years to put it together. I was like, we need to put some things on record. Like we want to put our experience.
Right.
And let some other people learn from it. When you talk about trade unionism, the trade union leaders are not going to school to study industrial relations, for example. They just become popular wherever they work and become trade union leaders. And they also need to learn to know the rule of engagement.
Right.
You don't do student unionism like you're doing trade unionism. They are two different things. You must go by the rules. Okay. And that's why this idea of the book is to balance. There are interests of the employer, there are interests of the workers as well.
Right.
So there is always this conflict
in between. Because that's why I'm just trying to find out where you got that title for workers' interest and organizational survival. What are you trying to drive at really in this book?
It's actually my experience as I work here, and I also go out to like enforce what the NLC directive would be. And in between, you have to balance. Where you're working is that's where you take your living, and again you have to also sometimes we are going on strike, you have to let's go home, you can't come to work. So how do you balance in between? So the idea is this: we have interest, we have conflict of interest, then we must be able to see in between that where we work, nothing must affect it. Even when you are taking those industrial action, you are still coming back to where you work. The boss that you shot out today, you are still going to come and say yes or tomorrow. Right. So you must play in between and be sure that the organization you serve, you work in, you must make sure it survives. You must have that interest, develop that place. It is when you have more productivity and when you have enough cake to share, that's where the workers can say we have more, we want to have increase in salary. Right. If you don't have anything, if I'm not doing well, for example, here, I won't be able to pursue this dream, and even the management will not allow me to. So it's a balance, and I think I'm trying to put my experience out there for people to also do the same wherever they are, and see that they have to strike that balance.
Okay, so this is a book that must be in people's libraries, or where would you want this book?
The book is for everybody. If you are an employer, you think we are writing about labor leaders alone. No, you must know how they work. If you understand them, understand the interests of workers that you are leading, then you'll be able to at least relate with them, where know their interests. Okay, how do I go about this? If you are an employer and you don't know what are the interests of your workers, and then if you understand them, how they operate. There is a new world, a new work environment after the COVID-19. A lot of things changes.
Right.
So now the union leaders are also changing their approach. All like before, we have to bring the gather to come and do meetings and to make to decide whether to go on strike or not. Now we call ourselves on social media, like on Zoom meeting, that we can decide on whatever we want to do.
So the dynamics has changed.
So we also have to know that this was talking about modern role of trade unionism for national development. There are modern rules, there are different things that we are now that are evolving, that we need to learn and to know how to go about it, particularly as a union leader, and also the employer that must understand what are the new things the workers representative are doing.
So let's go into the book now. So how many chapters? How big is the book, by the way?
Averagely big is 166 pages.
Wow, 166 pages, that's big.
We are trying to encourage people to read in Nigeria. Let's put it that way. So if you have 2 volumes of the book, people may not want to. Right. So it's divided into 2. First 10 chapters talking about the basic responsibility of trade union leaders, organizing all those things. The second 10, the other part is the 11 to 20, talking about the new evolving modern role of trade unionism. You have to now know how to take care of your members. You're also looking at their mental issues of members. There are things that you look at that unlike before, you just like, okay, we are demanding for this, demanding for that.
Right.
So there are subtle way of making things happen without going on strike. You can get your demand met by your organization by regular engagement, call for meeting with them. See, be proactive, not active, not reactive. As a matter of fact, you have to be proactive. Okay, the federal government is talking about minimum wage next year. Okay, can't we start meeting management this year so that we can start talking about it. So that by the time the federal government implements, we will have had something, a work, something must have been on ground for us to work on. So it makes it easy. So the book is talking about increased productivity and reduction in conflict in organizations.
Which is very, very good.
We are looking at the book is looking at the issue of GDP and the economy at large. You know, it is what you produce in a nation, the level of productivity that will affect the GDP.
So there's a lot.
There's a lot about the book.
Wow. This is very, very big indeed. All right, so where is this holding, the book launch?
The book launch is holding in Lagos. I wouldn't want to expose the venue because it's strictly by invitation, but we invite people to join online. Just search online, you see Workers' Interest Organization Survivor on YouTube. You can join and watch live.
Right.
But most importantly, you get a copy of the book so that you learn about this new modern role of trade unionism.
So let's talk about this now. After the book launch tomorrow, where can people get a copy of this book?
It will be at all bookshop around you in Nigeria, and it's also coming on here on the social media. We will have Amazon and Co coming up by September, so we should be able to have it.
Beautiful. So this is let me just reiterate this. So it's workers' interest and organizational survival. So please go out there and ensure that you pick up this book. It's going to be launched or perhaps unveiled tomorrow. And who are we expecting at this event?
Well, we're expecting the Federal Minister for Labor and Employment. We are expecting the Commissioner for Establishment and Training in Lagos State.
Oh, good.
We're expecting Arekola, who is going to be the chairman of the occasion. We're expecting the National President of Rattawu. We're expecting the NLCTUC. All the labor leaders across the Southwest are coming around.
All right, that's wonderful.
And again, the book launch is just like the opening ceremony for our Zonal workshop. We are having a Zonal workshop. So
that's for Rattawu?
For Rattawu in the Southwest zone. So we are using the book launch as the business section of the
it's a combination.
Event. It's a combination of events.
Okay, then. So I wish you the very, very best, and congratulations.
Thank you very much,
Comrade Dari Durusimi. This is the beginning. Of course, it's a milestone. This book, he says, it's going to be very, very good. So all organizations out there, ensure or perhaps endeavor to pick a copy. I'm sure that might just help you in terms of conflict resolution.
Yes.
All right.
So finally, I think I should thank the general manager, Mr. Lekon, Mr. Tayo Akole, for his support and giving me this opportunity. It's not easy working in a place and you are allowed to do this kind of thing. He's allowing me to pursue my interest, so it's a rare opportunity that doesn't happen everywhere.
Beautiful. Nice having you in the studios. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay then, so we'll be switching gears to celebrate